friends, how are you today? Good. Well, it's me and Melody's here to hang out with us today. Today we are going to talk about different kinds of notes. Now we've been talking about them in class, so you might see some that you're familiar with. If you remember all the ones we learned in class, awesome, great job. Then you'll know all of these notes. If you don't remember, it's good you're watching this video because it'll help you remember what the different kinds of notes are. Okay? So if you want to follow along in your intro to music notebook that we've been coloring and using in class and at home, you can pause the video right now and go get it. If you don't want to follow along, that's okay too. It's up to you. So, Melody, are you ready to learn? Oh, good. I think we can help her learn these notes. So, Melody, the first one we're going to be talking about is a whole note. And I have a picture of one right here. Well, Melody, if you stand in front of it, they're not going to be able to see. Thank you. So, this is a whole note. Now I drew this one and it looks pretty much like a whole note. It looks like a donut. Do you see that? It looks like a donut? A nice open donut with a hole in the middle. Do you remember how many beats a whole note gets? Yeah, it gets 4 beats. Now, do you remember when we used to count beat and we would go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and? Well, counting up to 4 like that is how you count out a whole note. So, if we were clapping a whole note, it would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Can you clap that out for us, Melody? All right, watch her pause. Ready? So she's going to clap a whole note. Ready? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Awesome. Great job, Melody. So a whole note. It looks like a donut with a hole in the middle. It has 4 beats. And the way you count a whole note is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Fabulous. Now, the next note we're going to talk about is a half note. Do you remember a half note? Well, I have a picture of one right here. A half note kind of looks like a whole note at the bottom. It looks like a donut with a hole in the middle. And then it has a stick that looks like that. Yeah, you remember? Oh, good. If you don't remember, that's okay. Yeah, so it's a donut on a stick. And a half note gets 2 beats. If you think about a whole note has 4 beats, and a half note has 2 beats. It's half of a whole note. So the 2 beats that a half note gets are 1 and 2 and. We don't go on to 3 and 4 and. We stop at 1 and 2 and because a half note only gets 2 beats. So if you were going to clap that, Melody, watch your pause. Ready? We're going to count a half note. 1 and 2 and. Good. You want to do another one? 1 and 2 and. Fantastic. So when you see a half note that looks like this, a donut on a stick, then you would know that it gets 1 and 2 and beats. Okay. Now flip the next page because we're going to go on to a quarter note. Do you remember one that looks like this? It looks like a ball on a stick. Now, it looks kind of the same as a half note, but it's not open in the middle. It doesn't have a hole in the middle. It's a big black dot on a stick that looks like this. And a quarter note gets 1 beat. So if we were going to clap out a quarter note, we would say 1 and. 1 and. So, you ready to clap it, Melody? Watch her pause. Ready? 1 and. Good. 1 and. 1 and. 1 and. Awesome job. So, it sounds kind of funny saying 1 and. 1 and. It sounds kind of funny, but that's how we count a quarter note. Now, the last one might sound even funnier to you. If you flip the page in your booklet, you'll come to an 1/8 note. Do you see an 1/8 note? It looks like this. And this one's kind of tricky because it only gets a half beat. Now 1 beat is 1 and. But if we were going to do half of that, we would only say 1. So with a quarter note, we would say 1 and. With an 1/8 note, we would say 1. 1. 1. 1. Because this is a half beat, an 1/8 note gets a half beat, it would take 2 of them to make a quarter note. If a quarter note gets 1 beat and a half note gets 2, it would take 2 quarter notes to make a half note. If a half note gets 2 beats and a whole note gets 4 beats, it would take 2 half notes to make 1 whole note. Now that's a lot to remember. So we're going to keep working on it in class. We're going to do some fun activities, and we're going to talk a lot more about these notes, a lot more. So if you don't remember right now, you have this video to help you remember. You have another video that I've posted of facts that'll help you remember. You have your intro to music booklet, and we're going to work on it in class. So if it sounds like a lot, don't worry. You got it. You will get it, I promise. Okay? Is there anything you wanted to say, Melody? Oh, she said she had fun. Did you have fun? Oh, good. I'm so glad. I'll see you on Wednesday.